we're live right now?
Yeah, I'm
All
just gonna
right,
do
let's
that
see.
the whole
Hopefully
time.
some
You can
people
lift it
join
up.
us on YouTube, on Facebook. Are we going on to TikTok? No, YouTube and Facebook, though? Good. That's where our loyal fans are. You know, we just started on
We're
TikTok.
not going TikTok?
No, we did. We just started. And if you're on the platform, you know, there's a lot of really great, like, just short clips from a podcast or short clips from a sermon that I always find really encouraging. And it's nice to just have that sound bite. But
Yeah.
sometimes it you know, makes me want to go listen to the whole thing. So we've been picking up good traction on TikTok, and I'm hoping that people hear the little
Oh, so
sound
we're
bite.
on TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then I hope they'll go listen to the long format conversation. Because that's the best thing about the Be Life podcast is, you know.
Are we on?
We're on right now. We are live.
Need the AI
No
voice.
way.
You got to light up the on air thing.
Oh, you gotta light it up.
Just kidding. It doesn't have batteries.
We are live?
We are live.
You need
We
the-
are rolling.
You need the AI voice if you're gonna
No
do TikTok videos,
way.
right?
Exactly.
I was super afraid when this happened.
So where'd Zach go?
Our producer has stepped away from the computer to double check that we're live on all the platforms. If you are joining us on Facebook and YouTube, we want to say, hey, thanks for being here. We're having a great time. It's launch day at Be Life Church.
Did you welcome everybody to the what we are? Who
No,
we are?
no, go for it, Joe.
No, well, this is a Be Life podcast, and now we're coming to you from Be Life Church.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even get to say that. That's a good one.
Yes.
Be Life
We're
Podcast.
the Be Life podcast from Be Life Church
Be Life Church.
Yeah.
in Canton, Ohio, and we are celebrating our rebirth.
Our renaissance.
That's a great word.
Yeah.
That's a perfect word. Renaissance. We are celebrating our new name, our new mission, our new focus, and we are celebrating with tons of people here and food trucks and Josh, I got to thank you. You and Zach did so much. I got to tell you, folks, this young man and his brother designed that logo that is all over the church right now. You can't see our big, new, beautiful new sign out here, but they designed this all. They put this all together, the colors, the whole thing. And we are being life today. And we want to thank you for being with us. As always, if you like this, if you're watching us, follow us on all the different streaming services, Spotify,
Yeah,
everybody.
if you're watching this live, give this live stream a like. Do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that like button, as they say.
Smash it.
Hit that little bell.
You got to do that. That's going to send this video out to more people. We'll get some more people joining us online live. And of course, you'll be able to watch this later. We'll add this to our podcast feed on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We appreciate the support. You know, we always have new people coming up, and I'm surprised. People that I never thought were into podcasts. They say they listen to us every week and tell us, you know, how encouraging these conversations are. And honestly, Joe, if no one listened, I'd still get together with you every week and have these conversations.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that so much. And we're joined today by Brian.
Hello.
And Brian is so much a part of this church and our church, and has been for such a long time on the tech team and everything else. Wonderful family, and we're grateful that Brian could join us today. Thank you so much, brother.
Yeah. I'm here against my will, but I'm happy to be here.
We're going to have a couple different guests joining us this morning, and we thought we'd grab Brian first because Brian was a part of the team that put together Launch Day today. And the thing that Brian did was create this 5-minute long video that plays at the beginning of service. And now we have a lot of latecomers that show up to service 5-10 minutes after we started. Nothing wrong with that. Our doors are always open. But for those people that get there early, to watch this video is a real encouragement. My first time going through it, after I saw what Brian had made, I like Mario in the video game, I just leapt into the air and punched. I was like, yes. I was pumped up because it took us on a journey through our church's history, where we've come from and where we're headed to. And so, Brian, I just thought we'd have you on for a minute and talk about that project and you know, what you got out of it, what your vision was with it. If you know, whatever you want to share about that.
How'd you find all those pictures, by the way?
Well, it was you, actually. Josh had this project for the 100-year anniversary.
Yeah, in
So,
2020 we turned 100.
honestly, I was able to take most of those photos that he already gathered, and he did all the work for me. So I kind of cheated and just kind of took them all and just put them in there.
You did well.
Thank you. But then and also the photos I couldn't find, the more modern videos and stuff, I just had someone else find them for me. So I cheated even more. But yeah, no, it was fun. So yeah, the vision, I guess when I was doing it, it was just like, I don't like being labeled Nazarene or being, I'm not saying it's a bad label or anything.
Sure.
But I'm just saying I just feel like a follower of Christ, and, you know.
First and foremost, yeah.
Yeah, so, but it was interesting and fun to like look at the history of the Nazarene Church and some of the photos and stuff. Just, I don't know, it was kind of cool to see the journey. I was shocked at like how many pastors this church has had, and how long this church has been around. But yeah, no, it was cool just to see all that stuff. You know, some of it, honestly, I hate to say it, it sounds bad. Some of it looked like nightmare fuel because it was just like, you know, just people not smiling, just kind of
so stoic.
Yeah. But then I realized it's like, well, if the church has been around since like this, I don't know,
1920 was the year this
like,
church was
photographs
first founded.
were like, you know, not super old then. You know, you had to stand. I don't know. You had to stand super still or something, right, for a while because of the
Before
flash.
sliced bread.
Yeah.
It really was.
Dude, that's true.
It really was.
You know, I heard someone say that Betty White was older than sliced bread, and I think that really
Our
contextualized
church
things.
is
for
older
me.
than that.
That's wild.
I think Betty White's always been like 70.
Yeah, it's true.
But anyway, yeah. So it was fun. It was challenging. I had some visions for the music, but then it was like, okay, well, someone else is doing the music. I'm like, okay, cool. So that helped. But yeah, no, it was. I'm glad that you were able to put all that stuff together because it really helped me out a lot. But yeah.
No, it's good the way you brought it together to tell the story, because that's the thing. You can have a collection of pictures. We've had 100 years worth of pictures and moments and memories here, but to be able to tell a cohesive story with it, you know, that's art. And so I thank you for that. Mm-hmm. And our hope with Be Life Church is to continue that legacy, right? This is a new chapter. It's a renaissance in our church, our over 100-year-old church, this legacy church, and we're still going. We got hundreds of people here. We got a block party going on. We're having a bunch of fun, but before this, we were in a worship service, and we had hundreds of people in that room lifting their hands up to God, and we had people that were following along, that we were agreeing on the scriptures, that we prayed together, that we were a real community. And so, you know, it's a legacy that's more than just the moments and the pictures.
Yeah.
And you know what? I look at, if I take one thing from what Pastor talked about today, Pastor Dan, is that Be Life is our mission.
Yeah, yes.
Not our title, not our name, it's our mission. And that has always been, I thought it was a perfect way in a short, concise manner to say why we had to do what we did, why the name needed to be changed, because, and it didn't need to be, but the reason we wanted to be is to identify who we are as a body of Christ.
Yeah, amen.
And it's exactly what he did today, was to say, this is our mission going forward. To be life in a world that when you look around it, it looks like it's crumbling. And actually a lot of it is crumbling. And because we know the world's decaying. We know our bodies decay. That's a part of this fallen world that we're in. We know all this. But God is light. And we are his ambassadors. We are being formed into the image of Jesus. And so we are to act like that. And that's what you're seeing out here today, is a bunch of people riding by, seeing a bunch of people being life.
Absolutely.
Being alive. And me, as the newest member of this group, all you guys, I'm grateful for everything that you have all done to lay the groundwork for this all happening.
Yeah. No, it's great. Yeah, we've been working on this project for years now. You know, some of the people that started leading this project years ago are no longer with us. You know, but they were committed to it, and it's amazing to see that work that they put into it, you know, come to fruition here. I want to take a second and thank our viewers. I was just told we have more than a dozen people watching us online. Thank you for that. The more live people we have, the more fun it is, I think. So thank you so much for watching live. We know we're going to have a lot of people stop by later, but thank you for being here live and joining us for the first Sunday ever at Be Life Church, the Be Life podcast coming to you live.
Gotta stay entertaining.
We gotta stay entertained. Yeah, we gotta. Should we do like a viral
Do a
challenge
joke.
or something?
Do a viral challenge.
All right, Brian. Before you head out of here, can you give us like your best dad joke?
The best dad joke?
Yeah.
I always like what's red and bad for your teeth.
What's that?
Rick.
I've got one.
Let's
It's
hear.
not a dad joke though. It's kind of a husband and wife joke. This is live, so things like
Wait,
this
do you
are
know
going to
my
happen.
wait? Do you know my phobia? My phobia is I won't get it, and I have to fake laugh. Just so you know.
It's like a deep-seated fear is you
Yeah.
don't get
Of
a
what?
joke.
If I have a phobia, if I don't get the joke, I have to fake laugh. So make sure it's good.
All right, this is good. There's a husband and wife. He's unfortunately passing away. So he's slipping in and out of a coma. All right? And as he comes out one time, he says to his wife, he pulls her near to him, and he's whispering to her. And she comes near to him, and he says, you know, you have always been there for me. You were there when I lost my job. You were there when we lost our house. You were there when I got sick. And now you're here when I'm passing into the great eternity.
You sure this
And
is a joke?
she says, dear, thank you. What does that mean? And he goes, I think you're bad luck.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
that's true.
All right. So
I was gonna say,
Was
like,
that
this
a
is a
fake
joke.
laugh?
Huh? No.
we got more than
I-
20 people joining us live.
I genuinely am not that smart, so yeah.
We got high quality jokes coming in here. I know that's what's keeping the crowds around.
We have high quality.
All right, you want one more race? No.
I'll be here all week.
Okay.
Brian, thanks for stopping by. Thanks
Yeah.
for taking a minute to be on here.
All right, Zach, cut all this stuff out. All right, see you.
Brian, I'll see you. Thank you.
God bless you. I did the wait.
God bless,
The
brother.
awkward. Hold on.
Oh, we're going to bring Jimmy in?
Yeah,
Pastor
next up we
Jimmy?
got another guest. We got
This
Pastor
all-
Jimmy.
this is
He's been-
warm.
Yeah, Jimmy, just a fair warning. These headphones are nice and toasty now. Nice and warm for your ears. If you're a longtime watcher / listener of the Be Life podcast, you'll recognize Jimmy. He's been on our show quite a few times before.
Pastor Jimmy is literally an ordained pastor. So people who don't know him know that he is an ordained minister and actually has the best coiffed hair of all of us here today.
This is true. This is
I mean, it's nice. It's kind of gelled, looks good.
Yeah, I
look good,
I
brother.
condition myself in the morning. I take a shower at least once a day.
that's the secret.
That is the
That
secret.
is really.
Joe has seen me.
Could I have
when-
kept my hair if I'd
Yeah,
done that?
yeah. Joe's been on some fall retreats and like summer retreats with us with the youth group, and he's seen what I look like in the morning, and I don't look this good in the
Oh,
morning.
and not only that, you don't smile in the
No,
morning.
I do
either.
not smile in the morning.
Whoa.
Oh no, no. I need at least a cup of
I
coffee
know.
before I even.
I
make it.
experienced that.
And when you're used to Jimmy's smile, to not
I
have
know.
it, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
I know, he smiles. Jimmy smiles. You smile with your whole face. I mean, you light up. I love it.
My eyes
You got the
squint
best
and
smile.
everything,
Yes,
yeah.
you got a great smile. And in the morning, he woke up and I was in the kitchen already.
Yeah.
And he came in and I was like, I have a film of it. He's walking around and I'm going, Jimmy, hey Jimmy, it's good morning, how you doing? And he's like looking at me like he's trying to hide.
I didn't want anything to do with you. That
I know,
morning.
I know.
I was.
I know.
We want to take a second and say thank you. We had 25 people. We reached 25 joining us live. If you're hanging out, thank you so much for being here. If you're watching on YouTube,
Can
Facebook,
they
we just
see
want to say
what's
thank
going
you.
on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
You guys can see the party behind us. It's been a good
It's
time.
so much fun. The energy here today is amazing.
I know.
It's amazing.
And the weather?
And Josh,
the weather?
Weather is
Oh my
perfect.
gosh.
Of course, it's been perfect all summer, and that's why my grass
Oh,
is
it's
dead.
been so nice. Oh, well, okay, yeah.
I mean, there's some good with the bad.
Yeah,
There
yeah, yeah.
is, but yeah, it's perfect weather in September. It really is.
Jimmy, what do you think of today's service?
It was amazing, wasn't it? Like, you know, I'm always behind stage usually when service is going on. And so, usually behind stage, I get to see a lot of things that happen where people are getting ready for the next segment, you know, because we have people that go out on stage to take a TV out there, whatever it might be. People are walking on stage to speak and stuff like that. So, being a bigger church, we get kind of used to those routines where our mind is somewhere else, so to speak, where we're focused on what's the next step that we have to take to make things are done well, right? Because part of our church is excellence, and we want to be excellent at what we do, so we do these kind of things. But today, it seemed like everybody's mind was not on what the next step was, but on God's word today.
Yeah.
The energy
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
overflowing in the congregation, but not just behind the congregation, but also behind the scenes, where we were sitting wherever we were at and just hearing God's word today. It's amazing when you have hundreds of people, followers of Christ, together worshiping. I loved how you guys just talked about how there were so many people in the congregation this morning. You know, numbers aren't the thing that we talk about.
But there's an
it's-
energy.
It's so much
It's
when
noticeable.
you are around other believers. And it's so energizing when you see new people. For me, I like that. I'm kind of introverted, outroverted at the same time. So like after this, I'll go home and sleep for like 6 hours because I'm so exhausted. But I enjoy the moment when I'm with new people. So seeing new people is always exciting to me too. But service was amazing. I am so happy about the new name. I am so thrilled about it. It just defines us as a church, which is amazing. It
Yes.
really is.
Yeah.
I think you hit it right on the head. I think it defines us.
Yeah.
And I think as people go along, they will understand
Yeah.
that it defines us.
Yeah.
Our name was a great name. It was a name that people had chosen. It was good. But it kind of just described where we were and what denomination we were. But I don't think our church has gotten to the point where, for those of you who don't know this church, our church is extremely service oriented.
Oh, yeah.
It is not about the walls of this
No,
church.
it's not.
It is serve day. It is filling 2 semis worth of stuff in 2 days and taking it to Asheville, North Carolina. It is going to Magoma. It is going to Ireland. It is going to all the different places at Romania and everywhere that our church reaches. Plus, the hundreds of things that we do in the community here. So, saying that we're here at this address in Canton
Yeah.
and we're Nazarene doesn't tell people that we're that church that is out there. We're beyond Canton. We're beyond Nazarene. We're beyond all the things. We're just, this defines us. And that is so important now. And so I think, you know, you guys are brilliant doing this. I had nothing to do with the name.
Neither did I. I
Nothing
mean,
in it.
I just went along for the ride.
But you guys who did, and the logo and everything else, thank you, because
Yeah.
you said who we are, and I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
The
Greg.
thing I love about Be Life, though, is it's a presence. Like,
Yes.
we're here
Yeah.
right now. It's not like we are been called Church of the Nazarene forever, and we are just that way. We are,
Been
right?
li-
But
been
being
life.
life is we
Yeah,
are
not
living
been
that
life.
right now. Like, we are in the moment. We're helping people in the community. Like those examples that you used, Joe, where we filled up trucks, all those kind of things, that's just an example of who we are and how we are motivated to go to that next step. like filling up 2 trucks for North Carolina, was it? Or
Yeah.
South Carolina, whatever it
No,
was.
Asheville, North
Asheville,
Carolina.
North
North Carolina. That's just one little thing we did.
And we did it in
guess
2
what?
days.
Next time we're gonna do something bigger and better because we're motivated to be life.
Yes.
Like we're gonna be life right now. We're not worried about what happened in the past, but we're being life every single day, which
Yes.
is amazing,
And
right?
we're being like every moment
Yes.
in Jesus
Yes.
as we're being formed in his image. That is, and we're flawed. We mess up.
Oh yeah.
You know, but we are allowing Christ to be life through us.
Yeah.
If I can give a quick jump in,
No.
that's not quite as spiritually formed. I had this very strange experience this weekend. I called into the company we lease our copier from to schedule a service call, and they said, "Hey, can I get an email?" And I said, "Oh yeah, it's jpotts@belifechurch.com." And they said, "Okay." I've never had that experience before. I didn't have to spell out Nazarene for him.
You did it on stage.
Oh, that's
today.
awesome.
Oh, yeah,
When
yeah.
you were doing on stage, you said something about welcome to Be Life Church. Whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, it startled me.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the pastors at Be Life Church. It's gonna take some getting used to, but it's just honestly who we are, and I think who we are stands out. One of the things Dan talked about in his sermon this morning. Thank you to everyone who's watching online. If you're watching online and you didn't see our pastor's sermon, you can always check that out at Be Life Church on Facebook, on YouTube. The live
You did
stream's
it
up
again.
there. There we go.
Be Life Church.
But in Dan's sermon, he talked about this one point really stood out to me, and it was that we are going to be radical by not being radical, in that we're not going to take a stand and have an identity with a political party or an earthly community or a denomination. Our identity is with Jesus, and that's never going to match up perfectly with any other earthly identity. And so those earthly communities are going to look at us as other. They're going to say, "Hey, man, you need to take a stance on this." Our stance is Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's going to stand out in the world around us. And
And
so
we
that's,
need to be extremely bold in that.
yes,
I
amen.
mean, we need to be undaunted in telling the truth of Christ.
Yeah.
But everything else, just like Pastor said, we're not trying to. Jesus didn't want to establish an earthly kingdom yet.
Right.
He didn't want to. He didn't come here to establish a government to do all those things. He doesn't pick and choose those things. The only important thing to him is, are you saved? Will you come to know me? Will you love me? Will you surrender your life to me so that I can work through your life and form you into my image?
Yeah. And I think it's like a gimme in church. Like people know, like we're not forming politics, anything like that. We're following Christ. But I think it's important, like Pastor Dan did, is announce from the stage again, like we're not following any kind of politics, but we're following Christ.
Right.
I mean, people in the church, they're like, okay, yeah, I know. But I think it's very important from the pulpit to announce that and let them know this is our stance, We're not going to follow any other way other than this stance, So I think it was amazing that Dan said that. I really do.
I loved a lot of things because I was truly struggling this week.
Yeah.
I was struggling with the young lady who got stabbed. I was super struggling with Charlie Kirk being assassinated, and I was filled with anger. I was filled with hurt. I was filled with all those emotions that were going through me, and I could not get myself to think about celebrating life.
Yeah. Yeah. To see through the fog
Yes.
is a challenge when you're feeling real emotions, when you're feeling afraid, when you're feeling angry.
And so had he dwelled, and I think his point was this, had he dwelled on that today, we would have lost sight of the fact that through that, there is still God. There is still Jesus. He is the same before and after. And bad things are going to happen in this world because it's a fallen world. But we are not to lose sight of the light that we have. And it's even more important that today, just like what you're seeing right now, is that we're light to the community.
Yeah.
When they look at us, they say, yes, there's bad things that go on, but these people have life, and they have it abundantly.
Yeah.
And how do I get some of that? That's
Yeah.
the point.
Hey, what's up, girls?
We had a young ladies.
Yes. They got some Kona Ice.
I
They
don't know
are
if
ready
those
to
of you
rock and
watching
roll.
online can see them in the frame, but we got some young ladies come over here. They were great volunteers today. Honestly, thank you guys for leading the way, passing out T-shirts. They were helping to direct traffic.
Yeah.
Man, okay. When we said we were gonna have a parking lot team today, I was like, sort of to greet people.
Yeah.
That's glorified greeters. No, man, they actually had to like direct traffic today because we had people backed up out to the road. It was when you don't have people trickling in all morning, and you got friends and
have-
family and the community coming in all at once. It was packed. It was crazy. So
And
thank
to
you
have
guys.
girls or young kids or
Yes.
teenagers just jumping in, that's our church, right?
Yeah.
Jumping in wherever there's something needed, saying, hey, I want to be part of this community. I want to help out any which
And
way
they
I
so
can.
do. They so
Oh,
do.
it's so
and you know what?
amazing.
They were in all the services.
Yeah.
We had all the young
Oh my
kids from
gosh,
all
isn't
the.
that
We had
cool?
toddlers. We had everybody, all the way up to the youth. All the kids were in the church.
Yeah.
And they were wonderful.
Oh, they were
They
so
were
good.
unbelievable. They were into it. They were
worshiping with us.
worshiping. They were standing up,
It-
clapping.
It wasn't just kids being quiet and keeping to themselves. It was engaging. Like
Yes.
we were having worship as a church family. And I think that's a beautiful thing when
and
we're able to do
they
that.
made sure that I behaved.
You know, I was watching a YouTube video or maybe a TikTok, or I don't even know what I was watching. I watch a lot of media. And so I was watching that this week, and they were talking about kids' church and how it has to stay engaging, right? To keep the kids involved. And it's amazing to know that when the kids come to a main worship service like they were today in our worship center, they knew how to be engaged already because our kids do that already in our kids' church.
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
engaged in worship. It wasn't new to them where they're like, oh, what do we do now? They already know how to worship God. They already know what it is to sing to God or how to praise God because our children's workers do an amazing job at keeping them engaged in God's
And you
word.
do. I got to give kudos to you too, because Jimmy, for 8 years almost, was our youth pastor here, and did a phenomenal job. We've got young people. You look at people like Logan and different people here who are super engaged in this church, who will probably go off and be ministers, maybe talk about it. You have raised up a group, and Josh was a children's
Yeah.
pastor for a while.
We
so
grew
you
up
two
for a little
both,
bit.
you know, I teach kindergarten and first grade, and sometimes do the toddlers and those kind of things. But you guys have been instrumental in that. Look what you've done.
If you guys are watching this live, I don't know if you can hear it in the background. We got Forrest Frank playing. Who doesn't love Forrest Frank? And so they're
And
doing
he's a
the
TikTok
TikTok
dancer.
dance
Forrest
for him.
He's the singer, the artist, who's singing this song.
Oh,
right now.
he's
I don't know who he is.
he's
okay.
super popular right
Yeah.
now. He's like the it guy.
Yeah, he is. He's good.
For Christian
And so-
music.
If,
Yeah, for
if
Christian
you're
music.
watching this
And
video
so-
and you're a Forrest Frank, if you're watching this live stream and you're a
Yeah.
Forrest Frank fan, give this video a like. Leave
I
a,
gotta
leave a
be honest
comment
with you.
and let us know what your favorite song of
If
his
it's
is.
the Temptations, I would know who it was, or the Four Tops, or
Do you know
something
about
like that.
TikTok dances? Like, there's a TikTok dance for this song. So it goes viral, and all these kids are doing these
Oh, is
TikTok
that what
dances.
you were
That's what they're
doing?
doing. They're, you know, when you were a kid and you watched
You know, Joe,
Backstreet
you're always
Boys
on
on
the
TV
internet.
or whatever, and you did your moves with them,
Yeah.
like that's what they do now on TikTok.
Well,
they
ours
make up
was
moves with
ours
the
was
songs.
the jerk, the Holly Gully, the swim,
The mashed potato?
the mashed potato.
Yeah, I don't know anything about those. I know the Macarena. Do you know the Macarena?
Hey,
Yeah, yeah,
no, I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know that real well. There's an Italian one too, the chicken dance.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's Italian.
They always do it at Italian weddings.
Well, I think that's done everywhere if nobody knows how to dance.
I thought it was
Is that,
Italian.
do Italians know how to dance? Is that why you guys do that one easy?
No, we don't.
Is it-
I don't know how to. I never learned.
Don't know how to dance.
So yeah, but yeah, Josh, you do an amazing job. Not just as a kids minister, but as he's grown into different roles in the staff. You know, if you never got to see when Josh was still starting out in children's ministry, one of the big accomplishments he had was media. Like, he did these YouTube videos for their Bible quizzing and stuff like that are so huge out there in the world that people are learning God's word. So, like, him doing the social media on the podcast is nothing new to him. Like, he knows how to do ministry on media, and I think that's so important in this generation. You do an amazing job, Josh.
Thanks for all the shout outs, guys. I feel.
You're getting a lot of
I'm
them
getting a
today.
lot of them. Maybe
We need to think of
maybe
something to
too
say
many.
nice
All right, let's-
about Joe here in a second.
We don't want to. We don't want to, cause him to get prideful. But I don't think he will. I don't think he will.
Well, if you're watching us live on Facebook and YouTube, we want to say thank you for being here. We've had a couple of our listeners who are here in person today stop by. We had Brian stop by earlier. We got Jimmy here. We want to thank him for being here. And there's one other man who listens to our podcast all the time, and I was really excited that he was going to be here today. So we're going to bring him by to put on the
Jimmy,
headset for a
you're
minute.
welcome to
Take
come
off.
back. Don't go too far.
Come on, Del. Come on over here. So sometimes I worry that all the views we're getting online are, just my friends and family. But then I find out they're other people. And,
No,
and I
it's my
appreciate
friends and family, too.
Yeah, we got 22 people watching us live right now. We want to say thank you for being here.
How many?
22 right now?
Wow.
We're hanging out right on 20. And I would have thought that all of our listeners were, here in person. So the fact that they're still online. Our producer, he lets us know. He's a good guy. Shout out to Zach. But
Zach
I always assumed that all my family listened to the show. And then I got together for a birthday celebration with my wife. And this is my father-in-law.
Oh.
And we walked in and Hannah asked him if he wanted something to drink. And he said, yeah, do you have any Yahweh? It was a callback to last week's episode when we were talking about the energy drink.
Yahweh
Everyone
energy
else
drink.
in the room just stared blankly. And I'm like, okay, well, it's good to know that at least Del listens to the show, if no one else. Del's faithfully been listening for a while. And so,
I would have bought that energy drink had they had the face of Jesus on the can.
yeah.
But he didn't look energetic.
This is true. You came up with a slogan for it that you thought, what was that again?
Yahweh energy drinks, the power of Pentecost in a can.
Yeah, see?
Oh, I like that.
I thought that was good too. They need to hire some good marketing.
Better than a tired Jesus.
Yes. Yes.
Well, Del, if you're watching this and you recognize Del, or you're listening to this later on and recognize him, you probably know him from Bible quizzing. For a long time, Del has been a leader, a quiz master, a coach, an advocate, even writing his own questions for Bible quizzing, in that he's taking the kids' questions and reformatting them for the teens to make it more challenging and engaging. It's something he's super passionate about. And there's some different people who've had some misconstrued ideas about Bible quizzing. But as soon as a parent sees their kid memorizing the Word of God and how they can recall it in times of need, man, I've had so many parents come to me and say, this is cool. They recalled what we were talking about. They said that this was their favorite Bible verse. I don't remember teaching them that Bible verse, and they learned it from quizzing. And I know for so many of the teenagers, it's so formative. And so that's why Del's so passionate about being a part of it. So I thought we'd take a minute since you were here, if you want to share some of why quizzing is important to you, some of your good memories.
Can I ask a question, maybe a naive question? Because I wasn't raised in the church, Del. You probably know that if you've watched the podcast. So I never heard of Bible quizzing until I came here. And then all of a sudden there was this Bible quizzing. I had no idea what it was. I thought, and I got to be honest, I thought the first thing I thought was, this rote memorization. Let's just force these kids to memorize these things, and they won't recall why they'll just know them. And so I was skeptical. Starting from that point, how did you become passionate about it?
Very good question, Joe. So, my first introduction to Bible quizzing was with children's quizzing.
Just a second.
Yes.
You gotta lean in just a little bit further.
So, my first introduction into Bible quizzing was with children's quizzing. And the kids quizzing is probably a little bit more of that like rote memorization that you're talking about, where they'll go through and they'll study. Usually, it's one or two books of the Bible through the course of a season,
Right.
which would run through more or less from September through May, and they would have what's called dig sites where they'll go through, and this is some of the stuff that Josh was helping with, helping to make the process more fun for the kids, and they'll go through and learn different chapters, different stories, and then they would learn the questions that are associated with that. Then at the throughout the year, then they'll have quizzes where they'll go in and be asked questions, and with children's quizzing, they have these quizzing boxes. And they're multiple choice questions. So there's 4 possible answers. So they'll ask the question, give the 4 answers, and then they repeat it in case they can't hear right the first time. Give the answers, and then the quiz master will say answer, and all the kids in unison grab their answer box 1, 2, 3, or 4 and pull it out. And one of my big memories of that was just hearing that like in unison, that sound of those answer cards being pulled out and then hitting the table. But the kids really enjoy it, and at the end of the year, they've learned a lot about a particular book of the Bible, and it would go through like Genesis, God's story of how Earth was created, how man was created, why man was created, and it goes up through the Book of Acts. And there's one gospel book also. So the kids, once they go through the whole program, they've learned a lot about these specific books. So Zach is giving some cues there, and I have
What
no
was
idea
that
what they
cue
mean.
about?
Oh, sorry. He's been cueing me this whole time.
Why?
Well, because we're live and we got 32 viewers right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
they're going
awesome.
up.
Hey, the number's going up.
It's going up.
Yeah,
It's
they
'cause
heard,
they
they heard
heard
there was
that-
talk about quizzing,
Yeah,
right?
they-
No, not me, but quizzing.
Bible quizzing. I'm intrigued.
Not you.
No, not me. So that was my introduction to quizzing.
Okay.
And I've heard like your initial reactions, like, oh, the kids are or the teens are being forced to memorize, and it's.
How do you
and-
mean
and-
forced? Don't say that.
No,
Well,
but that's
but
a
I
gut
guess it
they're
reaction.
was
being
kind of rote
tricked. They're being tricked to
memorization.
memorize.
Yeah.
But there's a couple things with that, like with the children's quizzing, that I would call out. A couple of scriptures is one scripture says God's word will not return void. So it's when that word is heard and listened and memorized,
Yes.
it means something.
Yes.
And even if maybe and I said the word tricked, it's like, oh, this is making reading the Bible and learning about the Bible fun, which it is. But however that child gets interested in the Bible, that's the important thing, because
Yes.
that's going to stick with them.
Yes.
It really will.
Yeah. And another verse that kind of somewhat related is where Paul says to the Jews, I became a Jew, to the Greeks, I became a Greek, become all things to all people, so that, like God's grace, some might be saved. So
Yes.
it follows that too. It's these kids and then teens, they'll grab onto that, and even if they don't like have it all like, oh, I'm going around quoting the Bible to all my friends, it's in their heads. And then in the future, something comes up, and then all of a sudden a verse pops up into their head, and it means something to them, and they get something, some direction with it. So that was children's quizzing. Teen quizzing is the more exciting part of it. It is. I know you were in sports and a coach
Yes.
in sports, so I coached Bible quizzing.
Yes.
And it's very much like a sport, but it's a sport of your mind.
They
where-
get very
where
competitive.
Sports for
it's-
inside kids.
it just like
I
reg-
sat in on one.
yeah, just like regular sports, the competition level varies. If you go to a typical quiz throughout the year, so we quiz on the East Ohio district. So the first quiz was just yesterday. I didn't make it to that one, but there were, I think, there were about 12 teams there. 5 of them were in advanced, so the quizzing is a little more competitive there, and then 7 were in novice. And it's much different than children's quizzing. With the teen quizzing, the quizmaster is going to give a question type. Some of the questions are what we call general questions, where it's general knowledge. Then you'll have an according to question, where it tells you where the question is coming from in the book and chapter. And then you'll have verse questions. These are the memorization questions, where you're asked to quote Colossians 2:3, for instance. That's probably not a verse.
And
for
these
this
kids are
year,
getting
but-
it like word for word.
Yes,
It's
so
impressive.
So the verses you have to quote those perfectly. So
In particular, they tell you which version.
yes, we
I mean,
so
NIV.
Nazarene Bible quizzing quizzes under the NIV.
Okay.
So there's a specific version that you quiz at under. There are other quizzing programs out there that quiz under other programs. That's great. There's again,
Yeah.
the more that God's word is fed into our youth's and children's hearts, the better that's going to be. But the competition kind of goes from that level of quizzing, where most of the time the full question is being asked. Then it's kind of like an academic challenge where you buzz in, except
Yeah.
here you buzz in by jumping up off of a buzzer seat. So you're sitting on a compression pad. So getting up off of that seat makes you buzz in, and then the first one to jump up gets to answer the question. So as you get into higher and higher levels,
I think it'd be a lot more fun if they were standing up and you had whoopee cushions.
you had to sit down.
And you had to
yes.
sit down.
Yes, the quizzing machine
No, I'm
can
kidding.
make
I'm
can
sorry.
make noises.
I
So,
should.
so we could see about programming in a whoopee cushion noise, but
That would be amazing.
yeah, with,
Please do
with a
that.
bunch of teen boys, yeah, yeah, it's hard enough to keep some degree of lack of chaos throughout the quiz.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But no problem. But when you get up into the what I call the elite levels, so on sports, this would be like your traveling
Division I?
traveling teams that are like the best of the best,
Yeah.
and they're going to national tournaments.
Yeah.
So Bible quizzing goes all the way up through.
Now, we have some
through
people
that.
here who do that.
Yes, Kaylee Schwartz.
Yeah.
She was just on a national Bible quizzing team.
Really?
She qualified for that through a regional quiz, for getting in the top 10 of a regional quiz.
Wow.
So, and that was she's I think just finished 10th grade. So, teen quizzing is 6th grade through 12. So she just finished 10th grade. So she's been doing this for a while, and this was our first time making a national team.
I can
And-
imagine Tegan's probably up in there too.
Well, she's a new
She's
quizzer.
younger,
Yes,
but-
she's younger. Yes, so she's been quizzing in the novice grouping, and I think she just was for the first time quizzing on the advanced level here for our district.
Nice.
But Kaylee's team actually she did okay during the preliminaries. She was there would have been 40 quizzers total. I think individually she was maybe in the mid 20s, so she did okay. Got into the playoffs, and something clicked. So I don't know if you've probably seen that in sports, where you get some guy that or lady that's been doing okay through the year, maybe even during a playoff run, and then you get to the big game, the championship,
Yeah,
and then all of a
they
sudden,
light it up.
where did they come from? Well, that was Kaylee. She actually, the individual scores don't really matter during the playoffs, but it still shows what effect that person is having. And she went from 25th to 3rd.
Wow.
So it was. She went from being mid range on her team to being the best quizzer on her team during the playoffs, and these teams are all so close that type of a jump actually pushed her team out, which is the Mount Vernon Nazarene University team, to the championship. So,
Awesome.
Let me ask you this: are you a minister?
no,
So you just got a passion for this?
Yeah,
A
my-
while.
my-
How long you been doing this?
let's see. When I first was involved with Bible quizzing, my son Nathaniel was in 4th grade, so that would be 10. He would have been, and he's 32 now, so 22 years. About 22 years. And I started into teen quizzing when he went into 7th grade.
Has anybody quizzed you? I have to imagine you are unbelievable.
That's a great question. Actually, at the national quizzes that are held every 2 years, they have something called decades quizzing.
Yeah.
We refer to as
That's
the
a polite way to say it.
old timers quizzing. So it's open to everybody.
And have you done
I
it?
have done that. Yes,
And you have to do well.
I've done okay.
How's your jumping?
I've done my jumping's pretty good.
All right, all
actually. The the knowledge base is okay.
Yeah.
So it's not as I'm not at the level of like Kaylee.
Yeah.
Like where Kaylee went through and basically memorized all of was it Luke that I think it was Luke.
I think that was.
It was all the book of Luke, which is a huge book. It's got like
She memorized the whole book?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Not just a verse, not just a chapter, like the book.
No.
yes, and there would be probably across Nazarene Bible quizzing, you probably have 30 or 40 teens that have memorized close to having that book memorized,
I can't
which
even
is incredible.
imagine that.
Yes. And
And Luke isn't a small book.
it is not a small book. No.
That's unbelievable.
Yes. So there's all kinds of strategies involved also when you get at that national level. Their coach this year was he was a national level quizzer when he was a teenager. And I think his name's Greg Kendall. So if anybody is watching that follows Nazarene Bible
Shout out
quizzing,
to Greg.
Shout out to Greg. He was showing Jamie Schwartz, Kaylee's mom, some of the things that they do, which is one is tracking what chapters have been asked in a quiz round, because the quiz round's 20 questions. There's only going to be one question asked from each chapter, which will leave a few chapters that don't have questions for that particular round. But if you're tracking that, when you get to questions 16, 17, 18, you know that all the questions are only coming from a handful of chapters. So by knowing that, you've had the material memorized, but you're jumping in questions so early.
That count as counting cards?
Yes, it's kind of like that, but it's totally legal.
Interesting.
Like a full question would be. So here, I'll give an example. This was an actual question. It was a question 20 at another national quiz years ago that my son Tim Channels was quizzing at. And
Shout out to Tim.
shout out to Tim. This was an elimination round, so if they lost, they were done and would have finished 7th out of 8 teams, which wasn't great because they had a pretty good team that year. So we went to question 20. Timothy jumps up on the question that started out of what do. Of what do.
What?
Of what do. Now there was more to the question, but that's when he jumped. The quizmaster stops at of what do.
And they had to finish it.
Have to finish the question
finish the
and give the
question
answer.
and the answer.
Yes.
No.
Yes. So again, that sounds like an impossible task. He had memorized the material, and he knew that there was only about 5 chapters left or 4 chapters left that it could have come from. So what immediately popped into his head is, of what do many live as enemies? That's still a hard question, isn't it?
It's,
Yes. And
So-
he knew the answer?
The answer was the cross of Christ. Many people live as enemies of the cross of Christ. And that goes right into Pastor Dan's sermon today. There's good and evil in
he's
this
bringing
world.
it full circle.
And there are people, unfortunately, that have, they've lost their way, and they're not even just like the passive bystanders. They are actively
Evil.
living as enemies
Yes.
of Christ's cross. So it was of what do. Tim stands up, pauses for about 3 seconds, and then says, of what do many live as enemies of the cross of Christ? The quizmaster says, correct. The room, there was probably 100 people in the room. It erupted into cheers. It was a home crowd for Mount Vernon in that room. The other team, which had been the top seed going into this, Eastern Nazarene, they kind of just put their heads down and was like, how did we lose this? And the whole round was strange because they started out after 10 questions. Mount Vernon was losing 100-0. They'd only had one correct answer, which had been Tim's answer number 1 during that round. And then it like within a 4 or 5 question span, it was tied.
Wow.
And then it was back and forth, questions 16, 17, 18,
Do
19.
people cheer?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh,
They get
it's,
excited?
it's not
Yeah,
like
oh.
golf.
They don't. They
Well,
don't.
and they,
It's
and
not
they got
like
golf.
they don't
No, it's-
badmouth
it's-
each other, do they? They don't. They don't taunt.
Generally speaking, no. That's the other really cool thing with Bible quizzing is you can go into these rounds, even in the highest levels, and you're really like, you're really working hard, fighting hard because you want to win. And after the quiz, you're friends. You're friends. You're friends before.
yeah.
You're friends after. During the quiz, you want to beat the other person.
Yeah.
But it's so there's like this huge competition piece to it.
But there's no.
But there, yeah, for the most, every now and then you'll get a misguided soul that we have to try to say, hey, that's not throw a flag, unsportsmanlike conduct. That's not the way we do things. But for the excessive celebration, it's a.
They got some cheers. They
Oh,
got,
really?
Yeah, they got their own. Because like when I go to these quizzes, I don't like. They got all these like insider lingo and their cheers and their like little dance moves to like cheer each other on to like get pumped up. They're for real about
That's
it.
kind of neat.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, we had, there was a cheer that was that we would use. It was MVNU, Mount Vernon Nazarene
Yes,
University,
yes.
and then we had one for a little while for our East Ohio district when we were having district quizzes against other districts. It would go something like this, and I'm not a good singer, but so I apologize. But it's E-O, E-O.
The Wizard of
It's from
Oz.
the Wizard of
Oh,
Oz.
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But another, if you can tell I'm passionate about this, I'm kind of getting fired up. But another big thing to me with Bible quizzing, especially when you get into the teens, is there's more to the church universal than just our little church here
Yeah.
in Canton.
Yeah, for
There's the starting point is, there's all these other churches across the East Ohio district with teens in them that are just like you and me. And hey, we have this opportunity once a month. We're getting together, seeing friends from other churches, having this friendly competition. There's other district-wide events that bring them together, like summer camps and fall retreat. Something called Blast, which is it's like a sports and it has sports and it has like music,
Yeah, art
poetry.
talents,
Yeah,
things like that.
it's a whole it's like a talent thing. So and that's also across the district, but it's opening their eyes to like, hey, there's more than just us here at this little
Yes.
church. Then you go to the regional quiz, and now we got churches from all over Ohio and West Virginia and Kentucky, and you start to develop friendships there. Then when you, if you get the opportunity to go to a national quiz, which everybody has that opportunity every 2 years, there's a national quiz that's open up to everybody. So you can go there and you can quiz on a district all-star team, you can quiz on your local team, and there's novice and advanced divisions in both of those. If you finish top 10 individually in the top division at the regional quiz, then like Kaylee or my son Tim, you would be on a national team. So that circuit goes around to different Nazarene universities across the U.S. Each year. This past year it was at Olivet.
So your son Tim, where is Tim? Is he still quizzing? He's grown.
Oh,
right?
he graduated in 2017. So that
Okay.
was his end of his quizzing career. He has gone to some of these national events afterwards as a coach, and he's actually quizzed on the Decades team once or twice.
Wow.
But yeah, so he graduated. He worked at a quizzing program at a local church, Canton Calvary. Shout out to Canton Calvary. And then him and his wife now serve at the Bedford Nazarene Church, and they kind of got quizzing restarted last year at the Bedford Church.
Interesting.
Yeah, they work with the teenagers and the kids up there. They're real involved.
Yeah. Tim's wife Alex is the children's pastor at Bedford, and she was just an ordained elder in the Nazarene Church here this summer.
Yeah,
so
just
shout
this
out to
year.
Alex.
There we go. We got all the shout outs.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for stopping in, Del. I know
was a
we
pleasure.
talk about this podcast all the time, so I'm glad you got to be here and share something you're passionate about that's shaping the next generation.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah.
God bless you for doing
Yeah.
it.
Thank you, Joe. God bless you and Josh for everything you guys
Thank
are
you.
doing. So I saw you over there with the kids in the
Oh, yeah,
in the
I love the
beanbag
kids.
chairs.
I love the kids.
This morning. So.
I love you kids. I was actually a donkey one time with our class and Jackson was riding my back.
Yeah.
We were doing a play. Actually, Jesus riding in or
Yeah.
going into Bethlehem with the Palm Sunday.
Yeah. Yes.
So I wanted to show them, so I had the kids line. I just love the kids.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that.
That's what it is.
I enjoy
yeah.
it.
Well, we got just a few minutes
Yeah.
left on
Okay.
our live stream. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you're watching on YouTube, watching on Facebook Live, thank you for being here. If you're watching and listening later, we appreciate it. Hit that like button. It gets it out to more people. Follow us on those platforms. We're going to continue to
what are
have
you
great
supposed to smash?
conversations. Smash the like button.
Smash
There it is.
Don't
Smash the
break
like
it,
button.
but
Yeah,
smash
don't
it.
break it. Yeah.
Oh, my God. It's been a good time here. Joe, as we're closing out just these last few minutes, is there any final things you want to say on whether it's the events of today, the future of our church, the future of this podcast?
Well, I obviously I pray that the future of our church is strong, because I truly believe that our church, and I've said this so many times, if I had a say in naming it, I'd probably call it Oasis, but that wouldn't work. So I'm glad I didn't have a say. But it is an
Life-giving
oasis.
waters in the desert.
It is an oasis
Yeah.
in the desert.
Yeah.
There are so many so many places, so many things that people are struggling with, lost and getting duped into going this way and that way and this way. And our church is rock solid, and it's about service, and it's about love, and it's when you come here. It's when we came here, I wasn't even looking for a church, and it was immediately family, and I've come to love people like Josh and Zach and Zachary and everybody here, as if, and it's hard to explain, but like a family.
Yeah.
And that only comes from Jesus Christ. So what I would say is, this church and all churches who are centered in Jesus Christ are places where you're going to go and you're going to find love, you're going to find family, you're going to sense a love that you would never sense in the world. You can never, ever recapture this or capture this in the world. It only comes through Jesus Christ and with brothers and sisters in the Lord. So I'm grateful for this church. I'm grateful for the new name, you and your brother, what you did here, and Hannah and Lydia and everybody who's involved in making this happen today and onward.
Yeah.
So thank you, and I hope you people understand that this is a unique place. But any place that is centered in Jesus Christ is a unique place.
That's it. That's the key.
Yeah.
What it is. Well, one final thank you for those of you who've joined us live today. We've had a great time together, had good conversation. But at this time, I'm ready to go get some fried chicken from that food truck. So follow us on all platforms, and we'll see you again next week.
Awesome.